More software knowledge is required for the Equinox Ecology. What is Vantage doing for software training camp? So I want to reiterate what we are doing. We have Dave Patterson is traveling pretty much every week. He is out somewhere offering a full infusion certification training followed by a half-day Equinox hands-on training. The idea being that we want to offer both of those for those of you who haven't been to training since before 2012. You may want to consider coming back. Much has changed, including hands-on operation with all of these different applications that you wouldn't have gotten earlier than that. If you don't have the time for the 3 days and you feel comfortable with everything but the Equinox, the half-day training is probably the appropriate one. And please take the time to go through the Equinox widget-specific videos, as Brian has indicated. And I think you'll find, in conjunction, taking all those together, that you will have pretty good training. Tech support's available to answer questions relative to those, if there's things that those videos do not answer for you. Those are the things that we're doing at this point. Other than that, do we want to just take some other questions? Well, actually, one thing I did want to point out for those of you, since the 41's new, if you've been playing with other things that have been released, you might have already noticed that the difference between the app on a tablet and a 73 mostly has to do with hard buttons. Other than that, it's pretty much the same interface. So you have a hard button for a home button on the 73 that you don't have on the app. And then you also have your programmable button that allows you to do things relative to, turning lights on and off as you enter or leave a room. And it doesn't have to just be lights. That could relate as well to turning the music on and off, and maybe setting back the HVAC if it's a single room zone. So there's a lot that you can do with the on-wall, and consider then that you take that same analogy to the 41 and you have those same benefits. And then besides the hard button, you also have the Activate, which is, if you've played with the 4.0 or the 73, that's on the 41 as well. So you can swipe your hand in close proximity to that, and without touching it, program it to do something as well. One of the nice things about the 41 interface is the same as what you see on your phone. And you may have noticed there's a little ribbon at the top left of the first screen that allows you to select a widget specifically. Since you only have one at a time, you may have as many as 12 today and more going forward. That is a very nice feature. So if you play with that app on your phone, you'll become familiar. The only difference, again, is the hard buttons, with which you'll have on the 41. So why don't we go to questions, I guess.
Okay, thanks. Do you want to answer this first one, Brian, the follow-on to the...
Yeah. So is this the follow-on?
Yes.
So the question is, on Equinox 401 controlling video, you need to go back to the top level, or the dashboard view, to adjust volume. It would be handy if there was a button similar to the numeric buttons. Agreed. And probably, now that you've seen one of the slides on the pull-down tray, that's exactly what that is. With the pull-down tray, you'll be able to slide down on the 4.1 and control the volume, transport commands, and power without having to go back to the home screen. So in effect, that's what that does, whether it's for audio or video widgets. Yeah, good question.
On the pull-down trays, will they be also available on the apps? Android, iOS?
So there was a concern that those could be confused with the built-in swipe abilities of the...
Yeah, so there will be on the iPhone and Android OSs the ability to swipe down as well. And what we'll do, we're very familiar with those, and so what we'll do is we'll drop the touch area further down from the iPhone and Android phone pull-downs. We know that from experience those are both very, very close to the top on the iOS devices, and we'll go through substantial testing, but we will make the let's call it the touch area, where you would pull those down far enough away from that to where they don't get confused. Yeah, otherwise it wouldn't be very useful. So yeah, we'll definitely take care of that. Great question.
Will the shade widget support Vantage relays connected to shade motors?
Yeah, great question. Of course it will. Not only those connected to DIN relays, low voltage relays, relay modules, it absolutely will. In fact, it's going to be, there's a new object coming into Design Center that you'll find out in training through the videos, or if you come to training on shades, that you would add. It's similar to the load object. If you're familiar with the load group object in Design Center, you will need to create what's called a shade group object. You would add it just like you would add anything else, and then you check the box for what direction is the up motor and which motor or relay is the down direction. If there's a 3-wire, you'll also choose the power. You will also be asked to set the travel time on the up and the travel time on the down, so we can approximate the feedback for that motor on its current position, whether it be all the way open or halfway or all the way closed. So yes, to answer your question, plus a little bit more detail there. Are there other questions?
All relays?
All relays that are Vantage based that we have control over. So low voltage relays, hardwired relays. That will include IRX2 low voltage relays and the like. But keep in mind that those are all also based on whatever current is necessary to drive those motors. So if it works through relays and we can control it, yes.
Next question. We've been getting quite a few requests for the ability to launch or change a profile via triggers.
Yeah, I wish that I had that today. Absolutely. That is on the docket to be done. Depending on how things go in the next set of refreshes, we may be able to get it in. But there is a challenge there between the world of Equinox and widgets that live dynamically in a project and Design Center, where the concept of profiles don't yet exist. And reading that information in and creating that between the two and syncing those has been a challenge. And we are up for the challenge, but we have not quite got to it. So we will be doing that, and I wish I had it today for you, and hopefully we'll get to it very shortly. Great question.
One more?
Yeah.
So there's a question came in. I am not familiar with the ribbon in the app or the EQ73. Can you elaborate on that? That was alluded to by Brian in the discussion. So the ribbon that he's speaking about is on the second layer of any widget's interface, where the current object has its name displayed at the top left of the screen with a little arrow, down arrow next to it. If you touch on that, it will bring up a ribbon showing you all the objects. For example, if you're in your thermostats, if you're in the comfort widget, and you have 7 or more, whatever number it is, of thermostats,